Phantoms among us, scary, real encounters. Our world is full of mysteries that we may never be able to solve or even comprehend. There are some things that we can't explain no matter how hard we try. Some say there's no such thing as ghosts. They're just figments of our overactive imaginations. Others argue that there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in our philosophy. You decide for yourself. Here are some scary, real ghost encounters. Number 10. The Ghost Train. Many train stations across the United States have their own ghost stories attached to them. One of the most famous is the train station in Niagara. It's now abandoned but was once a busy transport hub. People who worked at the station back in the early 1900s tell tales of a phantom train that would pass through the station every so often, shaking the floor and rattling the windows. This happened despite there being no train on the tracks. The apparition would move with such force that objects would fall off shelves. Sometimes the lights would flicker ominously as well. Nobody could explain it. Even today, people report hearing the sound of a train whistle in the middle of the night and feeling the ground vibrate under an unseen locomotive. Number 9. The Ghosts of Fort Mifflin. Fort Mifflin was built in 1789 and served as a strategic point for the Americans during the Revolutionary War. British troops attempted to capture it several times, and each time they were repelled by the men inside. During the battle, hundreds of American soldiers lost their lives. Today, the fort is a historical site open to the public, but after dark, it's a very different place. Visitors and staff alike report hearing disembodied voices and footsteps roaming around the grounds, as well as seeing shadowy figures in the corner of their eyes. Perhaps the most terrifying are the apparitions of two young boys. They appear to be wearing clothing from the 18th century and seem to wander aimlessly before vanishing into thin air. Could these be the restless spirits of the many children who died in the fort's siege? No. 8. The Ghost of Lydia Maria Child. In the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, there is a historic house that is now a museum. It was once home to one of America's first female authors, Lydia Maria Child. She lived in the home between 1836 and 1839, and during this time wrote her most famous book, The Frugal Housewife. While living in the home, she also campaigned against slavery and for women's rights. When she died in 1880, she was buried in the old Burial Hill Cemetery, but somehow her spirit didn't find peace. To this day, visitors and staff report hearing the sound of footsteps in the attic and seeing the ghost of a woman in a Victorian nightgown wandering the halls. Some believe this is Lydia Maria Child, forever searching for her lost voice. Number 7. The Ghost Ship. For centuries, there have been reports of a ghost ship sailing the waters near the coast of England. It's said that the ship is the Mary Celeste, which was found abandoned in 1872. All the crew had vanished without a trace. Since then, the ship has been seen many times, often by fishermen who mistake it for a real vessel. It's believed that the ship is cursed and anyone who sees it will suffer bad luck. Some say they've even heard the cries of the crew echoing across the waves. The truth is, the Mary Celeste was a real ship that was found abandoned at sea, but there is no evidence that it's haunted. However, the belief in the ghost ship continues to thrive in local folklore. No. 6. The Haunted Island. There is an island off the coast of Scotland that is said to be haunted by the ghosts of over 1 million people. It's called St. Kilda, and it's been uninhabited for centuries, but that hasn't stopped people from trying to visit it. Many people claim to have seen the ghosts of former residents wandering around the island, as well as hearing the sounds of drums and bagpipes in the distance. Some even say they've seen the ghost of an entire village, complete with houses and shops. Whether or not these stories are true is up for debate, but there's no denying that the island is truly creepy. No. 5. The Devil's Footprints. In 1739, something strange was spotted on the coast of Great Britain. A series of huge footprints were found in the mud, and soon rumors began to spread that the devil himself had come to Earth. People were afraid to walk near the footprints, believing that they were cursed. Eventually, the footprints were destroyed, and that should have been the end of it. But in the following years, similar footprints began appearing all over Europe. At first, scientists dismissed them as hoaxes, but then more and more people began reporting them. To this day, nobody knows what the footprints are or who made them. Number 4. The Ghost of the Opera House. The Sydney Opera House is one of Australia's most famous landmarks, but it's also said to be one of the most haunted places in the country. It's said that the ghost of a former architect named John Verge is forever searching for his lost love, Eliza. Visitors and staff alike have reported seeing the ghost of a man in a top hat and tails wandering the halls. Some say they've even heard the sound of his footsteps echoing around the empty theatre. The truth is, John Verge did work on the design of the opera house, but he died before it was completed. He never saw the finished product. Perhaps his spirit is forever searching for the beauty he helped create. No. 3. The Ghosts of Gettysburg. Gettysburg is one of the most important battles of the Civil War. Over 50,000 soldiers lost their lives here, and it's said that their spirits are still present on the battlefield. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly soldiers marching across the fields and hearing the sounds of gunfire and screams in the night. Some even say they've seen the ghost of Lincoln himself walking among the graves. The truth is, the Battle of Gettysburg was one of the bloodiest in American history, and it's possible that some of the soldiers who died here never found peace. Number 2. The Ghost of Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley is one of the most famous musicians of all time, but he's also one of the most famous ghosts. That's because people claim to see his ghost all the time. Visitors to Graceland have reported seeing the ghost of Elvis walking through the halls or playing his guitar on the porch. Some even say they've seen his ghost driving round Memphis in his famous Cadillac. But that's not all. People have also reported hearing the sound of Elvis singing in the middle of the night. Could this be the king of rock and roll paying us a visit from beyond the grave? Number 1. The Brown Lady of Rainham Hall. Rainham Hall is a historic house in England that's now open to the public, but after dark, it's a very different place. That's because it's said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman known as the Brown Lady. The ghost is said to appear in photographs as a transparent figure in 18th century clothing. She's always seen standing in the same spot on the stairs leading up to the second floor. Visitors and staff alike have reported seeing the ghost of the woman, but no one knows her identity. Some believe she may have been a former servant who died in a fire in the house. Others say she was a member of the family who lived there in the 18th century. Whatever the case, the Brown Lady of Rainham Hall is one of the most famous ghosts in England. Well, there you have it. 10 scary real ghost encounters. Do you believe in ghosts? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more about spooky stuff, stay tuned for more videos like this one. See you next time. Bye.